This episode is brought to you by our friends at Brookes Blooms, your all-in-one landscaping solution.
Brookes Blooms' three-step landscaping experience offers a seamless journey from design to construction and ongoing care, ensuring your outdoor space thrives year-round.
Visit brooksblooms.com today to embark on your landscaping journey, where every step is a step towards a vibrant and beautiful outdoor entertaining space. G'day everyone. Before we start this episode, we just want to send our condolences and our heartfelt condolences to Sam Landsberger's family. Obviously a much loved member of the AFL community and someone that both Josh and I have, spoken to on many occasions and had all the time in the world for one another. And it's such tragic circumstances that we obviously heard today that he unfortunately passed away, and he's going to be dearly missed, as I said, by the AFL community. And our best wishes go to him, his family, and everyone involved in his life. So rest in peace to Sammy. Had an enormous impact on many people's lives and enormous impact in the AFL community. So rest in peace, Sammy.
Yep, love it, mate. He's going to be a sorely missed guy. One of those ones, as you mentioned, just such a loved person, a Bulldogs supporter through and through. And although, at times he has to do his job and talk about us in the media, he's one of the ones that you just love. So heartfelt condolences to his family, and rest in peace, Sammy.
I couldn't agree more. So we'll get into the episode now. How are you, mate? Obviously, both a little bit shocked by the news. We've only just it's 6:50 now. We're filming, and we only found the news out about 20 minutes ago. So we're both a bit shocked at the moment. And as I said, we send our heartfelt condolences. Outside of the tragic news, how's your week been, mate? Obviously played footy, but how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been good, obviously, until you find out something like that. But it was a interesting week. I know everyone knows the footy side of things. We went down to Melbourne and couldn't get the job done, but it was nice to catch up with yourself, mate, and a few others down in Melbourne. Saw mum and dad. Took them to the Nike employee store, which they loved. So that was good. The first time they'd been in there, which was awesome. So they got to get a few things off the shelves and get a bit of a discount, mate. So we love that. But other than that, there wasn't a lot else outside of footy. That was too different. Lara and Tipper came down to watch the game. Tip came back with me on Sunday. So other than that, very cruisy. What about yourself?
Yeah, mate, I'm the same. It is very cruisy. The highlight of my week was catching up with you on the Saturday, actually seeing you the day of the game. Jado let me have the nice VIP car park at the hotel where there was absolutely no car parks at all. So thank you, Jado. I know you're a fan of the potty. But yeah, got a nice coffee with you, mate, which was nice. And it's weird playing the Sunday games. You always get the whole week, and feels like it's a lot longer than waiting between games and what you normally do for when it's a Friday or a Saturday game. So, yeah, mate, didn't do too much. I been spending as much time as I can with the girls. Watched countless of Disney movies in the last 2 to 3 weeks since G's been back. I don't know who's having more fun, Georgie or I, because I'm a big kid at heart and I love my Disney movies. What is your favourite Disney movie for what it's worth?
Oh, mate, don't ask me that. I've got no idea. You know me, I'm shocking with movies.
I know, but maybe there was one that might have rang a bell. Like for me, it's The Lion King. That's my favourite Disney movie of all time. My top three, right, would be, because I've got a top three list, because I've got a list for everything. My number 3 is Aladdin. My number 2 is Hercules, unbelievable movie. And my number 1 is The Lion King. And right now I can see that you're probably Googling Disney movies, looking on your phone right now. Let me know what your favourite Disney movie is.
All right, let's have a look here. Mate, I've barely watched any of these that I can see.
Surely The Lion King. You would have seen The Lion King.
I've seen The Lion King. I've seen that. Yeah, I will just say The Lion King because that's... I don't know any of these other ones.
I know you don't, because you were sheltered growing up on the farm. Speaking of the farm, actually, I'm going to mention Kim and Georgie have left me for the night, and I'm extremely jealous. They've driven down to the farm. Lara's down there as well, and obviously your parents. So they're spending a night down there, and I can see they're already having a blast, and I'm extremely jealous. And I know you've probably seen a couple Snapchats. It's the beauty of being here in Melbourne for Kim and G. They get to head down whenever they want, really.
Yeah, well, I did see a bit of a picture before, actually. I was on the phone to my old man, and he was with Kim. They were going for a bit of a drive, but Kim said that she has taken the Raptor out for the first time. It's gone off-road for the first time. The big Raptor, the ute that's actually meant to be off-road.
Not the first time. It hasn't gone off-road the first time, because remember I drove it up to Queensland during Christmas, mate, and we went to the beach. We did a couple of off-road drives with my brother-in-law, Chris. So it's not the first time off-road. It's the first time off-road down at the farm, mate, because I know where that was going. You're going to say, for a car that's meant to go off-road, you haven't taken it off-road. I have taken it off-road. So thank you very much.
Has Kim told you what happened to it yet or not?
No. What happened? We can break it here on the podcast.
She had a little, she come across a tree and collected a branch. It's got a big scratch on it, mate.
Well, firstly, I don't believe that, because secondly, I know that she would have called me and absolutely been shitting herself, because I would have been stressing out. But, mate, it is what it is. I mean, that's what happens when you live the farm life. Your cars get totaled and cars get dirtied and whatnot, and yeah.
Are you a bit filthy if she's there right now buffing it out, trying to get rid of the scratch, and you're just have no clue?
No, I'm more filthy about that I'm not actually there. She took me a tour of the house, mate. The house looks elite. Of course, out of the siblings' bedrooms, yours is the best. Took me through
Mine's
the
already set up.
Yours is already set up. That was what I was about to say. Yours is set up, and Lara and Kyle's one. There's not even a bed in their room. Well, yours is set up already.
Well, mate, I was probably there before Christmas last year in our off season. Actually, no, I was there at the bye week, but I did it last year. So I thought that they were going to move into the house like at Christmas time. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go set my room up. So then when they all go down there, they don't have to worry about mine. So mine's all set up, mate, ready to go. All my clothes are in the cupboard, and no one's moved in. Still a year on, pretty much.
Well, I can't wait to get down there. I'll be heading down there hopefully in a few weeks. If we can qualify for finals and get a bye, I'll be heading down there. That'd be great. One other thing that happened to me this week, actually, and it actually happened today, is believe it or not, I gave away my Ads and Dunks bracelet to a fan who loves us, loves you and I. And it was a young fan at the primary school that I did an appearance at today. And she really wanted the bracelet, so I gave it to her. So I'm pleading out to that young girl that makes the bracelets for me and gives them to me. Can you please make me another one? Because I feel a bit naked at the moment with my Ads and Dunks bracelet, but I feel like I've done a good thing by giving them out to a couple fans. Do you have yours still, mate?
I have it, but it's not on me at the moment, mate. I don't have it on.
I didn't think you'd have it on, because it's a nice little thing to have, but I did give it away. Are you flat with me that I gave it away, or?
No, I'm not flat. I think we should maybe start making them. People are wanting them, so we might make a business out of it, mate.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you are the businessman, and and for what it's worth, you're killing your real estate as well at the moment, because we were talking the other day about houses and whatnot, and you were trying to be a nice little buyer's advocate for me. What do you reckon?
Well, you know more than anyone that I've been doing my real estate stuff, and I just thought I'd let you know, mate, if you need a buyer's agent, that I've been doing the work. So hit me up. I'm ready.
I will hit you up, mate. I trust you with my life, mate, so I'll be trusting you with my property. But for what it's worth, I've almost finished the same course that you've done. You've just done it in a record amount of time, quicker than what I did. I'm just super lazy. Whenever I get spare time, I toss up between playing PlayStation or doing some recovery and then putting the real estate on the back burner. But Kim being here has really helped motivate me to finish it off. So I'm almost there, and I'll bring it on the podcast, the little certificate, and be as proud as punch knowing that I've finished the real estate course. But yes, I will be seeking you out soon. Anything else you did for the week that you want to touch on, or can we move on to the footy side of things?
No, not really. I reckon we should just jump into the footy, mate. I can go first with our game because we were first up on the Saturday. So against the Pies, it was a big game, massive or big crowd. Felt like a big crowd out there. And yeah, obviously the result ended up the way that it did. But I thought throughout the game, we started off really well, allowed them back into it, which happens a lot these days. The momentum swings in games of footy, and trying to maintain that or, stem the flow of the opposition goals is hard. And, Nick Daicos got off the chain in the second quarter and they changed a few things up. So made it hard for us to compete with them really in that second quarter. And then the third quarter, I thought we played really good footy again, but didn't quite convert on the scoreboard. So left it up till the last quarter and they were still in the game. Unfortunately, 5 minutes to go, we were 3 goals up and couldn't get the job done. So disappointing result, probably one that really hurt. If I think about my time here at the Lions, probably outside of the grand final last year, that game really, really hurt. I feel I was very disappointed and everyone was really disappointed after that one. But you got to stay positive, mate, because we've got another game this week and, we can't not look at the tape and go through what happened out there and the little things that can help us, moving forward. But yeah, all in all, it was a disappointing one and one that we probably, should have got in the end.
Yeah, well, yep. I could sense the hurt in your voice, and as we often talk, well, always talk post game, I could sense that in you, and obviously could being a part of the losses as well, where it's really deflating and knowing that you probably let one slip and you're in such a winning position, played such good footy up until obviously the last 5 or so minutes. You spoke about, obviously, you had to review it a little bit intently. If you want to, I guess, fill in the listeners, like when you say that, what do you mean? Like, was there, did you individually talk to each other and not point fingers, but I mean, be a little bit more critical than what you would have done in the past, considering you guys probably should have won the game? Or was it, go in, look at what you've done well, but maybe look at the last quarter and see where it fell down? What did you guys do?
No, it was a very honest meeting, I would call it. We came into the room and set the scene straight away. Like, it was like, righto, boys, like, we really want to get the most out of this meeting because these things, like, we can't have them happen like they did on the weekend, in future weeks, hopefully, in another 6 weeks' time. So we went through pretty much all our shots at goal that we missed and, talked about whether there was a better option there or, how it should have played out and if we should have kicked it. And then we went through opportunities that, leading up to the inside 50, whether we should have made the most of those too. So there was probably, 10 or so opportunities where we could have either found a better option and kicked a goal or, stopped them from scoring too. So little things like that. And yeah, I think one of the best things here is that everyone's really honest but the guy that's, potentially on the other side of it is really welcoming of that feedback, which is priceless, mate. Like, it's hard as an athlete, as a professional athlete, to feedback on board at times. So to be able to do that and really learn from it as a group is what we've done this week. So look forward to seeing the response from us all on Saturday night. Yeah,
that's a great point you make. I feel like it's important to, again, reiterate that for those aspiring athletes out there who do listen to our potty that, it's important to give feedback, but the guy receiving the feedback, it's as important to be able to take that feedback on and not use it sometimes, because sometimes it could be direct, sometimes it could be harsh at the time. But, in an AFL environment with common goal in mind, most players, I'd say almost every player, is doing it from, a good-natured part of their body, if you know what I mean. They're not doing it because they don't like you, but it's, they want to see the best for you and the best for the team. So I liked what you said there with, the players there receive the feedback and they take it on board and it don't feel like it's a personal dig. I guess, well then, how do you attack this week then? Obviously, last game of the year, you guys have already qualified for finals, which is great. There's a slight chance you can finish top 4 if Geelong somehow don't beat the Eagles, who I clearly think Geelong will get the job done to finish top 4. But there's still a chance for you guys to mathematically finish top 4. Not that you're probably thinking about that. But yeah, how do you finish the week off? Where do you really set the bar for you this week?
Yeah, I think technically we can still miss out if we lose. If we lose and Freo win by a combined 180 points or something. So
yeah,
it's still possible, mate. So we have to win. Like, that's essentially what it is we have to win. And starts now for us. Like, we've got to win every game for the next 5 or 6 weeks to do or get to where we want to be. So it's pretty simple in that regard. Like, we found ourselves earlier in the year, 14th or whatever we were. I think we were 4 wins, 6 losses and a draw at the midway point of the year, and nowhere near it. And, everyone else out there in the media world and, everyone was just coming down on this, and we found a way to get ourselves out of that. So, channeling that inner energy again is going to be important for us this week and in future weeks as well. So that's been the message. Embrace the journey that we've been on so far, and use what we've learnt this year to really kickstart the next few weeks. It's
a great message. I feel like, as you know, and we all know, that it's a whole new ball game once you qualify for finals. So, yes, I wish you all the very best this week, mate. I'll be supporting as always, and keen to see where you boys finish.
Thanks, mate. Move on to your game now on Sunday. I got to watch most of it, but I had to pick Tip up from the airport, so I missed it at the end. But it was a great outing from you boys. Yeah, the boys were very good. I mean, barring the first quarter, probably really disappointing, to be honest. I definitely felt like we didn't come out with the right intent. We didn't defend as well as we'd liked. We were only, and when I say only, I say that because I felt like we left a lot out there, and it didn't matter who we were playing against. We respect each team, for what they bring, and we know what North have brought post the bye has been great footy. I mean, they've challenged some really good sides, and they challenged us when we played them post their bye, and we only beat them by 3 goals. So, it felt like we left a lot out there early, and we're really disappointed with how we started, especially as midfielders. I felt like, we just weren't defending them well enough. So, yeah, we were challenged. We got challenged at quarter time, which was great. And then from quarter time onwards, was really pleased with how we went about it. I felt like we've really played our brand of footy. We, attacked the game, how we've been attacking it. I think it clearly helped that our forwards, and in particular Das, kicked really straight, and, to his credit, had a really, probably the best performance all season by an individual, his game himself. So that aspect was really pleasing. But, yeah, clearly still some areas where we want to, get right going forward. And, again, if you give a team like the Giants this week some opportunities that we gave North, especially early, they're going to take those with both hands and kick winning scores on us. So we can't allow that. But all in all, as a whole, obviously really pleased with how we went about it and how we were able to finish the game post that first quarter. Yeah, it was. You could tell in the first quarter that those little things weren't quite adding up for you, and that they were still in the game because of those. So as soon as you put the foot down and started to clean those little mistakes up, it was going to be a tough one for North to match up on. They lost a couple of key players too, so handy for you guys. But, I mean, when I'm watching, I always look at the little things that happen out there. I saw one instance when you had the ball and you got run down, and Truck Williams talk about feedback. What happened in that moment? Because you could see on the TV that he either gave you a mouthful or you gave it back to him or whatever it was. Like, give us a bit of an insight into what happens out there on the field when something like that happens. It's funny because one of my pet hates, and you know this because you know me as well as anyone, but one of my pet hates in footy is getting run down. I hate getting run down, and I don't get run down much. So it's my fault. I'll own it because I should have, it was like I was strolling in the park, walking around, not freaking thinking I was playing an AFL game. But no, I guess the direct feedback you mentioned was kind of what it was between Truck and I. I mean, we call him Truck Williams for those who were wondering who I'm saying. Who's Truck? That's Bailey Williams. And yeah, he
I feel like it was probably a situation where I probably should have had voice from behind. And again, I'm not blaming anyone. It was my fault. I should have kicked the footy. I shouldn't have taken that much time. But I think that they're those little things where in games, when we're in a really good flow and playing really good footy, is when everyone is on sync. And as you know as well as anybody, when you're in games where, you're probably winning by a lot, probably the result's already done, you're going to win the game, those little things you can kind of lack on a little bit. So, yeah, I definitely felt like I probably should have been told to kick it rather than, everyone screaming to try and get the ball off me. So, yeah, I just said to Truck that next time if we get the opportunity, can you just tell me that I'm out? Just tell me that I'm out and let me kick it. And Truck, being the great man he is, he was like, yep, of course, yep, will do, mate. And he would expect the same thing from me. So it probably wasn't as casual as that, because as you can imagine, in the heat of the battle, but that was essentially what the wording was. But yeah, mate, I hate getting run down. And it's funny because lady in our vision today, we go through, the midfielders in front of the group go through all the good stuff that we do. It's what we love doing. We put all the good stuff in lights. And it was actually a really good play leading up to that. There was a really good defensive turnover. I was involved, laid a nice tackle, got the ball back, and then he had to leave in me getting run down. So making a joke about it. But yeah, all in good spirits.
Nah, it's good. And it's really important, like you talked about, heat of the moment. I think the best feedback you can cop, is in the moment. Because that's how you learn. I feel like when you're at training, when you're out there on game day, if you don't say anything, like you don't learn as well as what you do when you're out there. So, yeah. When you're watching it back. So yeah, I think that kind of stuff is really good for those young players out there that are aspiring to be AFL players or AFLW players, whatever it might be. Like, think about that. Think about giving some feedback to your teammates and making everyone better in the moment, because that's the best feedback I reckon you can get.
Yeah, and I think when you can do it consistently, regardless of whether you're winning or losing, that's probably the challenge. And we all go through it at the elite level all the way down to junior footy. We all go through it. So if you can find that consistency, that's probably key. And we're still trying to strike that right balance. We don't want to be, extremely high when we're winning, and then when we're losing, extremely low. It's trying to be able to find that balance where we can maintain it. You probably look at all the really good sides. They do that regardless of the result. So all in all, though, very good performance. And, super pumped that the boys were able to have a really good even spread of contributors. Obviously, Sammy Darcy was clearly the standout, but definitely felt like, the midfield really got on top, really good spread of contributors in there. The defenders probably played their best game in terms of involvements and score involvements and whatnot, probably as a group. And it was great to see guys like James O'Donnell, Joel Fraser, these boys really shine in those roles, young guys who are coming through, which was awesome.
It was a very good game to watch. As I said, got to see most of it, but not quite the end, which was a bit boring anyway, mate, because you were that far ahead. But we'll move on. That was good. Hey, did you see my mic'd up thing? You sent it to me on Instagram today.
I loved it.
I forgot to mention that about our game. I want to get the whole thing though.
Yeah, I want to see it as well. What did I send you? I sent, this is sick content. Yeah, I love it. I think I want more of it for players. Like, it's cool to see that. I mean, I reckon people would love to see the fact that what it's like for you on the bench talking to someone in the heat of the battle against the guy like Nick Daicos and, well, the Collingwood midfield. I mean, it's cool to see you say, I'm meant to be going to Nick Daicos, but I'm worried about Pendles, and then, this person's coming here and whatnot. I reckon it's really cool, and a lot of people would like to see that.
To be honest, it wasn't that hard to do. It was just a little vest thing you put on. Those in the preseason, you wear those little GPS vests. It had a little thing in the back and chuck the jumper over the top, mate, and that was it. So I agree with you. I think there's plenty more room for little things like that. Like, we watched the NFL docos and the NBA docos where they go inside games and you can hear the voices and stuff like that. It's just unreal to watch. So can imagine that all the AFL supporters out there would love it too. So maybe we should get to do some more of it.
Maybe, mate. I'll be pushing it. I'll ask our great mate Elliot at the Western Bulldogs Footy Club, another great fan of our podcast, who I know listens to every single ep, and I know he's a good friend of yours as well. So, yeah, go on, mate. You got something to say?
No. Speaking of, so talking about the mic'd up and Elliot. So I went out for dinner with Elliot on Friday, I think it was, maybe. I caught up with him Friday. And Nick Daicos and Josh Daicos were in the same restaurant. So they walked in when I was sitting down and on the way out, they said, "G'day," like shook the hand, and I said, "All right, g'day, and see you tomorrow." It was pretty short and sharp. Nick probably thought I was going to be tagging him fully on the Saturday, but the first centre bounce, and we haven't seen this bit yet, but they didn't release it. But the first centre bounce, I went to him, and I was like, "Oh, how was your dinner last night? What did you order?"
Did ya?
And I think he said,
see that.
I think he said like linguine or something, and then he's like, "I nearly slipped something in your food on the way past when I walked out."
Oh, wow.
It's pretty funny.
There will be vision of that somewhere, and I can't wait to see. You know what will be interesting to see is the last 5 minutes of the game. Backs against the wall. Obviously, you guys ultimately didn't win the game, but just seeing like your emotions and how you go through it, and you know what your communication's like, and all. Hopefully, we get to see that stuff. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, well, I was stuck on the bench for a little bit there, so I probably only played, the last 2 minutes, 1 minute 30 when they kicked the stoppage goal from forward 50. I was in that one, and then I remember talking to Chief or Harris Andrews, and then there was another centre bounce, and then it was sort of back and forth for a little bit. So, there might be a bit there that would be pretty cool to watch.
Yes, well, we'll be waiting to see. Anything from the round that caught your eye? There wasn't really. I don't think there was really anything outside of your game that really. I mean, obviously, the big bump that happened in the Port Adelaide game. I mean, that was it was on for young and old after that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That was a huge bump. I'm not sure what the verdict is. I think it's on now, actually. Who knows what the outcome's going to be? Obviously, we talk about the head and whatnot, and Rankin didn't look too well after it, unfortunately. So hope he's travelling okay. But these days, it's hard to avoid the suspensions when such a big incident occurs.
I agree, and you can obviously see, how remorseful Dan Houston was afterwards. Who's had another tremendous year for what it's worth. So, but as you said, the duty of care is on the person. So hopefully Isaac can recover soon. Obviously, that's probably it is the end of his season. And for what it's worth, if he played, I think he only ended up playing 16 games maybe this year. Mate, he plays 3 or 4, maybe 2 more games. He's in the All-Australian team, mate. Coming up against him firsthand last week, such a good player, man, far out. He has that aura about him where, anything he does is special. So, hopefully he can recover quickly. But, yeah, man, other than that, there wasn't really anything to talk about from the round, was there?
It was a pretty good round of footy. Once again, like unpredictable results. This year just keeps producing. It's crazy. Yeah. I just can't believe how it's all panned out.
I'll tell you what I did think of, right, is we've done it twice now. And what I mean by that is last year we shouted out Carlton and Michael Voss and we turned their season around. This year, at some point this year, we shouted out Port Adelaide and Ken Hinkley, and they are currently sitting second and a really strong chance to finish top 2. Mate, we must be doing something on the potty.
Well, what we do on the potty, mate, is we talk facts, right? So when we say that the team isn't as bad as what, supporters think, and we get around the boys and we're like, don't worry, they're a good team and they're going to turn things around. We don't just say that because we want to say it. We say it because it's the truth.
It is.
So
mate.
It's, no surprise to me as to why they're up there, for sure.
Me neither. They're playing some good footy too, and that was a good win against Adelaide, who Adelaide played. They spanked us over there, so they were good. I think, again, for what it's worth, got to give Carlton a shout-out. The weekend performance that they had against West Coast over there. I mean, you've clearly got games in your mind that you think back to where, you didn't have externally a hope in hell to win the game, and for them to play the way that they played, literally with their season on their line, and to have guys like Curnow, Mackay, Chera, a couple injuries throughout the game go out, mate, that was extremely impressive. And it makes the next game, which is their last game, Carlton St Kilda, even more mouthwatering, considering how well St Kilda are going these last couple of weeks and how Carlton have to play for their season. So I felt like their performance was really good on Sunday.
Yeah, it was. I watched that game because I watched it straight after yours, and I was very interested in the result. And yeah, they, like you said, backs against the wall. I sort of had this feeling that they were going to do that. I think I tipped West Coast last week, but I just had this feeling that they were going to do that. And this week for them, again, is a do or die. So they got to win it and see what happens with the rest of the teams that are vying for that spot, you guys included. So, look forward to this weekend and what the footy gods have to give us, mate.
Me too, mate. Well, we're not going to talk about our tips because, that's just a foregone conclusion that you've won that. So we won't even talk about the tips. But we may as well go into the next round of games and just put our tips in for what it's worth, even though I know I've lost. And, there's no – did we come up with, a little punishment or anything? I thought we were going to come up with something.
For the tips.
Yeah. Because I thought I was going to win. That's why I thought we'd come up with the punishment.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what normally happens. You come up with something because you think you're going to win, and then I have to do it. But because I've won, there doesn't have to be one. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
All right, mate. Well, we'll get into the tips for this week then. If there's no punishment, can't wait. So we got the Friday night. This is a ripper. Both teams. Well, Collingwood can mathematically still make it. Melbourne are out. But to finish off the last Friday night game for the regular season, Melbourne versus Collingwood. Who do you got?
I've got Collingwood. I think Collingwood's footy will be I think it's a Collingwood away game, but so the crowd may not be able to turn out as big as what it was last week for us, but their supporters are something else, mate, and they just give them a whole nother level of...
They do, don't they?
I don't know, energy. It wasn't even full last week, and it was loud. It was proper loud. So, I'm tipping the Pies.
It's incredible to watch, mate. Something that you do not take for granted. Let me tell you that, mate, experiencing that firsthand. I reckon the Pies as well. Be a good game. Saturday. So there's some ripping games here. It's crazy this last round. Starts off with Geelong and West Coast. Obviously, Geelong win. They sew up top 4. So Geelong versus West Coast. Yeah, in Geelong, who you got?
I'm tipping West Coast just because I want them to win.
Mate, that would be the almightiest of upsets.
And I can afford to tip someone that I don't think may win because I'm smashing you anyway.
Righto, smartass. I'm going to go Geelong. Yep, I'm going to go Geelong. I mean, yeah, it would be pretty crazy because, as I said, mathematically, we could still make the top 4 as well. If you guys lose, if Geelong lose, and if we win. So it would be pretty crazy. But I'm tipping Geelong. AMCG, Richmond versus the Gold Coast. Who you got?
Good game. I think the Suns will win, though. I think the Suns... Unless, actually, because there's a few retirements today, wasn't there? Is any of those guys...
No, Dylan Grimes retired. Dylan Grimes has had a tremendous career as well. All-Australian best first winner and a 3-time premiership player. So congratulations, Dylan Grimes, on his retirement. I'm not sure he's playing, though, if he's playing. Well,
I'll just go Richmond. I'll go Richmond at the G. I think the Tigers will get it done.
Hopefully the Tiger Army comes out and supports hard, as they always do. I'll go Gold Coast. I think they'll win. And I think if Gold Coast win as well, which, probably doesn't make it any easier for Gold Coast fans out there, but I think it ends up being their best winning season, from what I believe. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. I think 10 wins was their best. If they win, it's 11 and it's their best winning season. So I think Gold Coast will win. Twilight Saturday, the hottest team in footy right now, in my opinion, Hawthorn, are playing North Melbourne. Who are you tipping?
Well, it's hard to go past the Hawks at the moment. I do think North Melbourne, if they get Sheasel back, they may be a sniff. But if Sheasel's not playing, I think they won't get the job done. I think it'll be Hawthorn all the way.
And they play Tassie really well. Well, both sides do.
They do. They do.
I feel like Hawthorn play Tassie well as well. So, but no, you can't go past Hawthorn at the moment, mate. They are playing some incredible footy. Yeah, they are red hot, whoever plays them in the finals. Next game is your one. We'll touch on that. And then we've got a ripper here, Saturday night, Sydney versus Adelaide, the SCG.
Swans at home.
Which means they'll finish first. I think they mathematically can't get overtaken, can they? How much is 12%? That's a lot, isn't it?
It's make
up 12%. Then the Sunday. It's crazy that all these games are on the one day. So there's obviously, we play the Giants in Ballarat at 12:30. Come down, all Bulldogs fans. Cannot wait to see you out there. The other two games, we've got Carlton St Kilda, Marvel Stadium 3:20. Carlton obviously need a win to secure a spot in the finals. Secure. Who are you tipping?
Yeah, I'll tip the Blues. I think the Blues will get it done. The Saints have been in ripping form, as it's been well documented, and beat Geelong last week, who are in the 4 at the moment. So it'll be a cracking game. But I think the Blues can't. They just can't miss out on finals, can they? Like they've had a year that's been so promising, and last year as well. I think that they deserve to make it. So I think they'll get it done.
Yeah, I think they will too. I think they'll get it done. Yep. I'm with you, mate. I feel like their footy's good. Like, their footy is too good not to be playing finals. I mean, saying that, so is Collingwood and Freo and these guys that are outside. I mean, Freo can still make it. I mean, again, next game's Freo. That's the last game of the round to top it all off. Freo versus Port Adelaide. Optus Stadium. Freo they're vying for a finals berth, and if Port Adelaide win, they lock in top 2, where they could drop down to potentially 4th or 3rd. So there's a lot at stake for teams. Who are you tipping in that game?
Yeah, this is a cracking game. I feel like saying a draw, but you can't say a draw. I think
wouldn't that be crazy?
I think I've got a theory that if you boys beat the Giants, I think Freo will win, because Port will have top 2 spot sewn up.
Right. And they'll know
what I'm saying?
So they'll just rest all their players.
You never know, mate. You never know. They might have some sore boys out there that may need a bit of a break, and they might pull a couple out if they don't need them. So I don't know. Just got this weird feeling that I think you guys are going to beat the Giants, and then I think Port will lose to Freo. So that's my tip. Freo. Long-winded answer.
Yeah. Well, I think Freo as well. I feel like they play Optus Stadium well, and when their backs are against the wall, and they have been stiff in a lot of games this year. Yeah. So I'm going to tip Freo, which makes it an interesting round, which means we have to win based off my tips, which is giving me great confidence that we will get the job done. I'm really looking forward to that game, but we'll preview your game. Bombers on the Saturday night at the Gabba. Want to finish off strongly in front of your home crowd. Must be looking forward to this.
Yeah, I am. I mean, like I talked about earlier, the last couple of weeks haven't been ideal for us. So to be able to go out there and, bring our best consistently for 4 quarters and do the little things that we've been talking about as a group, and show everyone how good we can be when we do that, is definitely going to be something that we look forward to doing on Saturday nights, but not taking Essendon for granted either, because they are, and they have been, a really good team this year. They've shown us that they've improved in so many areas, and very impressive to watch from afar. So going to have to be at our very best, as I say, every week, because if you're off one bit against anyone in this competition, you'll get rolled. So looking forward to that challenge.
And you're right, mate. They are. I feel like they're going to really come and really try and take it up to you guys. And, I've heard Ross Lyon say in the last few weeks how he'd love to spoil some finals football parties for some teams. And I've got no doubt the Bombers would want to come out and do that because clearly it's been an up and down year for them. So you must be, really preparing for that and, hoping that if they do that, you guys can bring the heat yourself and put in a really good performance.
Yeah, that's it. It's exactly right. Like, we looked at them today and, like I said, they've improved in so many areas that compared to the past. So, yeah, going to have to be at our very, very best to take it up to them and get over the line.
Yeah, mate. Really looking forward to the game. I can't wait. I'll be in nice, freezing cold Ballarat, preparing to go to sleep for my game the next day, which I got no doubt in the world that you miss staying in Ballarat. We used to do that drive together and, have fun there. But all the best, mate. I'll be watching.
Thanks, mate. Moving on to your game. Sunday, big one. What is it? 12? Is it 12? Oh, it's 12:30.
It is.
That's an interesting time slot.
Well, clearly want to fit all the games in. And, mate, the AFL knows whenever they scheduled this game, well, this round, they knew that this was how it was going to fall. But, mate, obviously got the Giants who've won 7 in a row, I think. They're flying at the moment and 8-10, 8-2 actually out of their last 10. So, they're one of the informed teams of the comp. And we know, they're going to come and, want to finish off the season strong. They last year's game down in Ballarat, we played them and we had a really big lead against them and they came back and ended up beating us. And we touched on that a little bit today about, what they're going to bring and how they're going to want to play. And as I mentioned before in our review post the North Melbourne game, that we just can't allow teams, especially teams like the Giants, to be able to come and dictate how they want to play against us. So, we know that as opposition players, but I think the general public knows how the Giants like to play. They obviously move the ball really quickly and get their high forwards involved and their halfbacks, really creative, led by Lachie Whitfield, who's had another tremendous season again and probably in line for All-Australian. Fully expecting them to bring their best and really looking forward to this. I love the fact that we're ending the season and hopefully entering in the second bit of the season in the finals, but ending the season against a top 4 side, and we can really, hopefully have our footy stack up against one of the best teams of the comp. So really looking forward to it.
Yep. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm just looking at the weather actually, because
what is it?
Last time you played against them, it was wet, wasn't it?
It was wet and then it dried out. So it was a bit of both.
See, I think if they have a dry game, like they're way better when it's dry. But when it's wet, I think you boys, because of the way you structure up and your contest stuff, I think you have the advantage. So I think it says here 60% chance of rain, 5 to 10 mil on Sunday in Ballarat. So you might be copping a bit. You might be copping a bit of rain, mate, on Sunday.
And you know what that is for you? I've got no doubt that's some high-tech freaking weather app that you've got. You wouldn't be using the Apple iPhone one that I use. I'll just use the basic weather one on the iPhone.
You know me, mate. I've got the full Weather Zone app, mate. I've showed you this before, so you're just taking the piss out of me here because you know exactly what I've got. But shit!
You're a dog.
You're a dog.
This is a little insight, everyone, into mine and Josh's best friendship. I like the simple things. Joshy has the best of the best. I'll jump on the Apple iPhone weather app, and he'll jump on the Weather Zone, which I love. I absolutely love. But no, hopefully we can get the job done, regardless of whether it's raining or whether it's sunny. But is there anything else, mate, from the round of footy that you want to talk about? End of the season. I mean, It's pretty crazy. Friggin' end of the season. Hopefully we're both playing finals, meaning we get a week off and whatnot. But it's pretty crazy that we're already at the end of the season and there's going to be, 10 teams that miss out and already planning their, Bali holidays and chilling overseas.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's very crazy to think, right now that some teams are preparing for their last week of footy and getting ready for the off season, but you can smell finals in the air, mate. I'm not sure what it's like down there, but up here the weather's starting to get a bit warmer. The sun's out and shining, which is nice. As you can tell, I've got a T-shirt on, shorts on, so nice and warm up here in Brizzy, mate. So look forward to it.
For what it's worth, mate, it actually has been very good here. And I know Brado, when we bring him on, hopefully he can remember, but he can vouch for me. It has been beautiful weather here. It's feels like spring. So as you said, mate, it feels like finals footy. Good luck to both of us. Hopefully we can get the job done.
That's it.
Give some love. Do you have a player for me? Give me some. Give me a player because I've got a player after you.
Yeah, I do. So mine's from the Carlton West Coast game.
Yep.
As I said, I watched it pretty closely. And this guy got swung forward.
Yep.
And kicked a few goals. And it's Brody Kemp. So we all know the key defender that he is. He's 192 centimetres, actually. Key defender. So got swung forward this week and kicked 4. Had a really ripping game.
He did.
He took a real nice mark as well at one point towards the end there and went back and slotted it. So I just thought, he's not one that gets talked about a lot, being a key defender down at the Blues and all the players that they've got. They're obviously stacked with talent. So not one that normally gets talked about, but I thought his game on the weekend was really important for him and, keeps him in finals contention.
I agree. And it's funny, I've got a Carlton player as well in mind. And my Carlton player is George Hewitt. And
good one.
I feel like his last month of footy has been great. I feel like out of this game, I couldn't agree more with Paddy Cripps being the best player on the ground and really putting him, on his back early. But I feel like there wasn't much credit given to George Hewitt. And watching that game, mate, he was I wouldn't say as influential, but he was thereabouts, man. He was a big part of the reason why they won the game. I mean, you look at West Coast midfield in Elliot Yeo, Tim Kelly, Harley Reid. Like, they got a class midfield. Liam Duggan as well, who's playing a bit on ball as well. It's not just Paddy Cripps versus those 4. I feel like George Hewitt really, really played an outstanding game, and having him back in their lineup has been vital for them. So I felt like he deserved a bit of love this round. He was awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And watching that game, you just hear the commentators and everyone talking about Paddy Cripps and nothing about Hewitt, which was insane because he's had 30, I'm looking at it now, 35 touches, 5 marks, 10 tackles. So he's doing it on both sides of the ball.
Outstanding.
26 pressure acts, 10 contested possessions, 8 score involvements, I think, 5 clearances. Yeah. A great game. That's a great game. So surely gets a mention somewhere.
Hopefully he does. Our last for the regular season, Brookes Bloom of the week. I've got mine here, mate, and you'll love this. This is me to a T. So my Brookes Bloom of the week, I'm putting wrestling and my favourite current basketball player together, Kevin Durant. So I'm not sure if you've seen this. I'll quickly show you a little thing on the camera here. Triple H. Please tell me you know who Triple H is.
No.
Wow. Everyone, he's actually not lying either when he says that. Well, anyway, believe it or not, guys, Dunks doesn't know who Triple H is, but Triple H presented Kevin Durant custom Texas title belt. And what that is Kevin Durant is a big wrestling fan, and he went to, obviously, Texas, played for the Longhorns. In college, he got presented a custom WWE wrestling belt with the Texas Longhorns in the middle, and he gets to wear this wrestling belt. So, mate, those 2 are my bloom of the week. Told you it was left field, but it's a good one.
Triple H. I've never even heard of that bloke. Nice. I wonder if our supporters or our fans out there have heard of him.
You know what, guys? I've got no doubt in my mind that they know who Triple H is. I'm going to say it's an 80-20. 80% of our listeners know who Triple H is.
Yeah, all right. Well, mine's a left field one too. I saw this today, and Brady, we were talking about this before with Brado. The man with no brain. Did you see this man with no brain? What are you laughing at?
I'm still laughing at. Yeah, I did see the no brain. Sorry. I heard about it. Yes, fill me in.
Well, I don't really have much info other than the fact that he's got no brain. So he has a brain scan and there's no brain in his head. So he's a living person with no brain.
Sometimes I think I've got no brain, so.
Well, you must have a brain if you know who Triple H is, mate.
A little more about Triple H. You know his special moves, the pedigree. Have you heard of that, the pedigree?
Pedigree dog food.
Oh, I love this guy, everyone. I love him. Nah, sorry, I stole. So, what's your Brookes Bloom of the week?
My Brookes Bloom of the week is the man with no brain, because it's a credit to him for being able to get through life without a brain.
There must be something. Like, there's got to be something in there that, like,
it's black. You should see the brain scan. There's nothing there, mate. Nothing.
Well, there you go. I cannot wait to see. Hopefully, mate. I'm going to ask our listeners now. Can you send a comment in who had the better Bloom of the week?
You literally cannot see a brain in his head. So there you go. That's mine. Thanks to Brooke for being supporting us through this journey where Adam just keeps laughing at me not knowing who Triple H is.
This fun year. Do you have a question for me? Do you have a random left field question for me?
I don't. I've got to read out though what our listeners gave us on the weekend because during the week because we had a few write in. So about the mashed potato question, which was great.
Yes, yeah, it was a great response. Johnny
Goring, the best mashed potatoes is to boil in salted water, then mash it with butter and milk. Question for Josh is, when you went to Adsy's 250th a few weeks ago, did you have many Dogs fans come up to you and chat? What was the reception you received from them? Also, I have a lookalike for Adsy.
Oh.
Also, I have a lookalike for Adsy. Reckon he looks like the English cricketer, Sam Billings. Love the show, boys. Keep up the great walk.
Billings.
Work.
Okay. Here we go. Drum roll, because I've never heard of this dude.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Sam Billings, mate.
What do you reckon? This guy, can you see?
Yeah, I know who it is. You do. You look a little bit like him.
Tell me how I look like this guy.
You do.
Yeah, I don't mind the comparison. Well done. That's not bad. Sam Billings.
So Johnny Goring, you're one of our winners this week. And to be fair, we haven't done a couple of winners, so we'll do a few tonight because we haven't done them over the last couple of weeks. Yep. This one's from Letitia Ernst. I love you guys. I mashed a little first to break it up a bit. I stopped adding butter to try and make it a bit healthier and only add milk, but you got to steam the potato. Doesn't boiling take the nutrients out? Good luck this weekend. Go Lions. You did.
I didn't. Of course I knew that. It's like, so the best way, it's like having your veggies, mate. If you have them hard, all the nutrients are in it, but you're not going to eat raw vegetables.
Here's another one. Bailey Thorpe.
Yep.
Says, nah, butter before you mash it. Question for you both to answer since the NFL season is coming up. One player that is an underrated NFL fantasy pick and one that you will not be touching at all during the draft.
Oh, my God. I don't want to give any of my secrets away. Because
come on.
Okay, so which one do you want me to answer first? Underrated player. Are we talking, can I go like a real deep sleeper, like one that probably no one thinks about?
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Kamani Vidal.
Okay.
So Kamani Vidal he was drafted to the LA Chargers as a running back. Right now, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins are leading that running back depth chart. But in my opinion, Kamani Vidal will be not as good as in terms of output, but similar to the Devon A-Chain trajectory last season where he overtook. So I think Kamani Vidal, he's my real deep sleeper. What about you? Do you have one, or you don't do as much as I do, clearly?
Nah, I've got one because we did a draft for our Lions Dynasty one the other night, and you'll probably laugh at me, but I'm going Rico Dowdle or Dodal, however you say his name.
Yeah. I don't mind it.
From the Dallas Cowboys. I like him because there's not a huge running back depth chart on their list, and he's going to have an opportunity to impress. So I think he might be a sneaky one to get on there and have a crack.
Yeah, I think because it's more situational for him. I like it, Joshy. It's situational for him rather than his. I'm trying don't want to disrespect. Rather than his talent, like I wouldn't say he's better than other running backs, but because they don't really have anyone, it's going to be a good one. That's a good one. And what was the other one?
Yeah,
someone I won't be touching.
Yes.
Oh, I want to go early picks. So someone I wouldn't want to touch is a guy like Drake London. So Drake London is going He's going in the first 2 rounds in drafts, and I wouldn't touch him in the first 2 rounds. For what I'm spending for the first 2 rounds, I wouldn't touch him.
Interesting.
You?
I have no idea. I'm just going to say someone like, I don't know. I actually don't know. I wouldn't have a clue.
I'm going to say another one. I'm going to say we could start a Ads and Dunks NFL fantasy podcast after this if you want, guys. But I'm going to say any of the receivers at the Chicago Bears, purely for fantasy reason, just because they have to share a lot. And there's Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Roma Dunze, who's going to be a stud. So any of the receivers at the Chicago Bears. Oh, you're getting a bit of insight there. Well done, mate. It's for after the potty.
I was just getting a bit of insight, mate, because I don't know my stuff as well as you.
All right. Well, that's great, mate. We'll save that for NFL fantasy chat when we make another podcast. Speaking of NFL, exciting stuff for the Oz American Aces coming up soon. So follow the Oz American Aces NFL Fantasy League that Josh and I are a team, the Step Brothers. Make sure you support us. Can't wait to hopefully get some redemption this year. We finished 3rd last year, so looking forward to this season. But that's it, mate. But as always, before we wrap up, we got to get our man Brado in. And I feel like we've given him a bit of content to talk about. So come on, Brado.
A little bit of content, because you didn't do much research when it came to your some of your Brookes Blooms. I got in touch with the man with the 90% of his brain missing, which is how much is left over there, ads. 90%'s missing. Well, he's still got 10%. That's good. There you go.
Were you asking me?
I was asking you. Maybe it's you.
Maybe it is me.
But he's a 44-year-old Frenchman who got asked to keep it confidential, and they only found out about it when he went into the doctors complaining about a mild weakness in his left leg. So he was just living a normal, everyday life, and I've just got a bit of a stiff leg, and they scanned his brain, and 90% of it was missing. And despite all of that, he had a low IQ, but he wasn't classed as mentally disabled. He had an IQ of 75, and he's married with 2 kids.
Oh, wow.
So his wife must have just thought he was a regular bloke. But there you go. So scientists are looking into it, but they're pretty stumped. I've got another one for you.
Time to play the game. Triple H. I love it. Play the game. Oh, no, that is, mate.
So that we know is Triple H's theme song, also known as Jean-Paul Levesque. He is an absolute legend of wrestling. He's a 5-time world heavyweight champion, 9-time WWE champion, 5-time Intercontinental, 2-time European, multiple-time tag team, King of the Ring, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, Grand Slam champion. He got the Slammy Award for Best Hair, but he's also in the WWE Hall of Fame as part of D-Generation X.
Generation X. Yes, that is great. This is the best one yet, Brado.
You got to know who Triple H is. He's up there with one of the legends of the company. But I'm going to say that maybe me and Ads are in the minority when it comes to people that know Triple H, but I'm looking forward to seeing who else knows of Triple H.
Thank you, Brad.
What about, have you got any?
I'm off the tips. If you're going to
updates?
ask about the tips, that's just rubbing it
Tribunal?
in. We've got the tribunal. They're still deliberating. They're going to be in there for quite some time, I imagine. They've been in there for 23 minutes as it stands right now.
Righto. Well, thanks everyone for listening. What's our question this week, mate? We need to give a question out there. Let's just go. Do you know Triple H? And if you do, give us a bit of a reason why Triple H is your whatever.
Just simply, do you know Triple H? And be honest. Be honest. Don't just say yes. Let me know who Triple H is.
Because if you're like me, you couldn't care less. Anyway, thanks, Adzi.
Thanks, mate. Good luck.
All the best this weekend, and we'll see you all next week.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Brookes Blooms, your all-in-one landscaping solution.
Brookes Blooms' 3-step landscaping experience offers a seamless journey from design to construction and ongoing care, ensuring your outdoor space thrives year-round.
Visit brooksblooms.com today to embark on your landscaping journey, where every step is a step towards a vibrant and beautiful outdoor entertaining space.